Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on Bret's Garage. I'm Bret, and today's video I'm going to talk about the fuel efficiency of my 2018 Volkswagen Golf R. In this video I show you how to do fuel logging, and I show you how I've recorded every drop of fuel I've ever used in my Volkswagen Golf R. When I first bought this car, I really didn't care how fuel efficient it was, and I'm sure most of you who drive a Golf R also don't care how much fuel your car burns. However, this video is created to demonstrate both ends of the spectrum. I'm going to show you how fuel efficient the Golf R is on a daily basis, and I'm also going to show you how fuel efficient I can make it when I really try my hardest. So I just want to talk a little bit about Octane Ratings and where they get their number from. So in Canada, USA, and Brazil, we use what's called an AKI, which is an anti-knock index. Now if you take RON plus MON divided by 2, that'll give you the anti-knock index. So RON is a research octane number. That number is determined by putting a fuel in a test engine at 600 RPM with variable compression and stressing out the fuel until it either pre-ignites or detonates. And then they compare those results to a standardized test and give it an octane rating. MON is a motor octane number, and it's very similar. They run the fuel in a test engine at a higher RPM, at 900 RPMs, except they preheat the fuel to further stress it and determine the pre-ignition or detonation point of the fuel. I used to put a lot of Chevron 94 octane in my car, and I liked it for two reasons. One, it was a higher octane number, and two, it has absolutely no ethanol in the fuel. Ethanol is a biofuel they add to gasoline, and there's a few reasons I like fuel with absolutely no ethanol. So most fuel contains 10% ethanol. However, ethanol is 34% less energy by volume than regular gasoline. Also, ethanol will eat away at your rubber seals and your fuel lines if you don't have a modern day car. So some of the advantages of ethanol is that it actually burns a little bit colder. Ethanol has a very high anti-knock index, which is a good thing. The Golf R is almost out of fuel, and I'm gonna go fill it up. So when I'm refueling my car, one of the first things I do is I'll write down the date. Today's date is the 11th of August 2018. And then I will write down the odometer reading. Next, I write down the trip. And then I will write down the average liters per 100 over the extended period, which is 13.9. Next, I write down the average since refuel. And then I record the liters added. Next, I write down how many liters I added. And I write down the type of fuel. And the final purchase price. I know my writing looks like a 5-year-old child did it, so I prepared this chart so that everybody could read it better. One last thing I forgot to mention. Don't forget to reset your trip. So today I'm going to try and be as fuel efficient as possible and go for a little drive and see how fuel efficient I can make my Golf R. One of the cool things about this car is right now it's measuring how many liters per hour I'm burning just sitting here at idle. If I rev the engine, you can see the liters per hour will actually increase. And as soon as I start moving, the liters per hour changes to liters per 100 kilometers. So I've arrived at the destination, and I'm currently at 8.3 liters per 100 kilometers. I just finished my drive, and my average fuel consumption was 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers over a 141 kilometer trip. You may have noticed that when I first started the drive, my projected range was 480 kilometers, and at the end of the drive it still says 480 kilometers. That just goes to show how fuel efficient I was driving during this test. The next test I'm going to do is driving from my house down to Victoria, BC, 222 kilometers. I just fired up the engine and I'm ready to head down to Victoria. "222 kilometers later, I have arrived at my destination. My average fuel consumption was 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers. Just sitting here in my Golf R. So the Golf R is almost out of fuel. I got 40 kilometers till empty. And I've got about 565 kilometers on this tank of fuel. I just got to the gas station and I've hit 600 kilometers on this tank of fuel. So I just reset the trip and just filled up. So I'm gonna try and drive another tank as efficiently as possible. Try and get a picture with the sunset. So I'm just out on a Thursday afternoon, out for a nice drive in my Golf R. One more day before I head back home. And I'm just driving around as fuel efficiently as I can. Alright guys, it's Friday. It's Friday afternoon. And I'm just starting my drive, going back home. So I just spotted this Porsche GT3. One of the things I would like to do is do the exact same test I did in this video here with the Chevron 94 octane to see if a fuel with absolutely no ethanol has better results when it comes to fuel economy. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Please hit that like button and please subscribe to see future updates on my Golf R.